Hey guys, welcome back. This is episode 13 of New York and Beyond with me, Christina Kremidas. And in this episode, we are talking all about breath work. So stay tuned. We're covering everything here. Thank you guys so much for being here for another episode of New York and Beyond. This show strives to be our daily dose of wisdom, of inspiration. We walk away from each week's episode knowing something we didn't know before, and I think that's just incredible. We're building the most amazing community of growth-oriented individuals and really developing a group of people who are supportive of each other, and we're becoming our little network. So it's been incredible to see where this show has taken us, and this episode is going to be an incredible one. We have Kathleen Booker on the show with us. Kathleen is an inspirational breathwork coach. Kathleen has been empowering, motivating, and coaching individuals as well as companies for over 15 years to identify their areas of growth, create goals, and implement strategic action plans to achieve them. She's an incredible person, and she's going to be sharing valuable information with us today. So quickly, before we get into it, please be sure that you are subscribed to my channels. This helps me see that you are enjoying the content, and it will help me create more videos like this for you guys. And without further ado, let's talk to Kathleen. Hi, Kathleen.
Hi, how are you, Christina? I am so honored to be here with you today. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. I know that you have so much that you are going to impart on us and the audience today. So we are thrilled to have you and honored to have you. I know you're so busy. So thank you so much for being with us.
No. I'm just going to roll right into it. I got to tell you, one of the things that the current state of the world, the pandemic, has really taught me is to slow down. I had no idea how I was running hither, thither, and yon until I slowed down. And one of the benefits of this time, and it's been horrific. However, I move much slower. I no longer desire to or see the need to have a day that is packed from sun up to sundown. So no, I am not super busy. I'm busy, but I'm not super busy.
I love that. Thank you so much. And I feel like that's such a damaging part of our culture, like especially in our country. It's like we define our worth by how busy we are. And I agree with you that I try to actually stop saying I'm busy or stop saying like I don't have time for like X. I say like I did not allocate time for X. I started to try to change that whole vibe actually. It's so cool that you say that.
And I agree with you. Yesterday, I was in my car going to get a cup of coffee. I'm not a pleasant person without my caffeine. Let me just be very clear. And yesterday, I started thinking about the things that I get to do, the things that are coming up. And I started to go into a little bit of overwhelm because I do have some deliverables, timelines. And I said, hang on, Kathleen. If I look at it as, oh my God, I got to get this done, then I don't get to flow with it. And in that moment, I'm telling you the honest truth, I was driving down 130th Avenue, honestly. And I said, I choose to see this differently. I choose to be in this differently. And, that is A Course in Miracles. I love A Course in Miracles lesson. Above all else, I want to see this differently. So as I was driving, I said to myself, you know what? I am so excited about this upcoming event. And I really look forward to creating the deliverables that I have to do because and this is honest to goodness truth, because I'm doing something different. So this is really a great opportunity that I'm learning, and I'm also working with a great team, and I choose to flow. And I tell you, Christina, as soon as I said that, there was space for my breath. And I'm very happy to say that yesterday I did, with ease, create what I needed to create for the deliverables. I honored my commitments that I really wanted to get done yesterday. And I had a conversation that I heretofore had been avoiding. And I went into that conversation. And I'll even say, you guys, you just have to know I talk a lot. And during the conversation I had with this individual, they had said to me, well, I hope that their tone could have been interpreted as terse. And so the individual said, well, I hope I'm not coming off, as hard. And when they said that, I thought to myself, I'm so in my flow that that's not coming nigh me. And I said to them, I said, no, I don't take it as such, because I knew that this individual also was speaking about something that they're very passionate about. So,
I love this. Thank you for the amazing start. I love that. I love that. It reminds me of, firstly, you mentioned you were doing something different, and it's true, because the something different may be even more rewarding than the typical, but the different always feels, it's always a little obviously harder, than
and
doing the
scary.
same old. Yeah.
And scary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it reminds me of a podcast I was listening to from one of Deepak Chopra's podcasts. And he's like, do nothing, accomplish everything. And I'm like, okay, now we're talking. Let's figure this out.
It's so true. And that's where the breath comes in. The breath takes us out of the doingness and puts us in the beingness. And for your audience, some may say, well, what the heck does being mean? The best way that I can describe it is being in this right now moment. This right now moment is all we have. It's now. We have no idea if tomorrow is promised, and yesterday is done. So, in this right now moment, and when we come from the breath filled being in this moment, it gives everything such a flow. It really puts us in the flow, because at that point, with the breath, I'm going to say, we are releasing cortisol, which is stress. And, stress can really have our underwear tied up in a knot over our heads. And we can be in fight or flight. The adrenaline is flowing, and fear, and also thinking of the past, living in this moment, but thinking in the past. And when we do the breath, or just allow the breath to flow, even as simple as one breath. I just cut my finger yesterday. That's why I have this thing on
Oh,
here. Yes, I'm cleaning out the blender.
oh my God.
I cut my finger. So I've got aloe vera on it, because aloe vera is a wonderful healer. So
Mm-hmm.
you guys just had to know that, because I'm going to be flailing my hand around. So I might as well share what this big thing is. And thank goodness it's my index finger, right?
Oh my
So
goodness.
as we're breathing, the breath is, as I shared, releasing the cortisol, and it puts us in the right now moment. And there's such a flow that can happen. And this flow gives us the courage, the clarity, the motivation to do that thing that is fearful. Because as we grow, as we allow ourselves to step into our natural greatness, our natural magnificence, as humans, we may be a little afraid. However, as we continue to grow, every level is a new level of and an opportunity to go,
Mm-hmm. It's so, so important. And in addition to the abilities, if you're doing this and practicing this properly, in addition to being able to, accomplish that new task, would you say that there are also health benefits to be had?
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, let's get real. You're breathing, you're here. So, I mean, how much it can only get
Right.
better from there, right? Your breath woke you up. It's incredible what the breath does for us. First and foremost, it's life. It's life. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
mic drop right there. Life. There, not to be morbid, however, it's true. There are many who did not wake up today. Hold on, my cat wants to do her photo bomb.
Oh, yes.
Okay, say hello.
Oh
Oh,
my God. How cute. How cute.
they
Thank
always photo
you.
bomb. The next one will
Same.
probably come. This is Gracie.
Same,
Um,
yeah.
so while we're breathing, it gives its life, the
It's true.
ability to wake up, to walk the earth, to make choices, to turn on this wonderful podcast, to hear, to move your body, your heart, to pump blood, your mind to think. How
Yes.
awesome. And and it also releases from the body, as I shared earlier, cortisol. Cortisol is stress. And, we all have cortisol, all of us. We all have moments when it's like, head for the hills. And the breath allows good feeling endorphins as we begin to breathe, like I did yesterday, driving down 130th Avenue. As I was breathing, that released the stress, the cortisol that was building up in my body, and released it to allow the good feeling endorphins to come in, so I'm not gripping the wheel like this. And also for
Mm-hmm.
thoughts of higher consciousness, your higher conscious thoughts. The thoughts are not coming from the lack, the scarcity, the fearful, the doubting consciousness that we all have. And you see my hand up in the air. However, from what is natural within us, our higher consciousness, that connectedness with the one, the source, the all, the divine. And if none of those words work for you, please fill in whatever does. And when you're in that flow, it is from that place we make choices for ourselves that are from our highest and greatest good. So, what that also means is there's a little gland back here called the amygdala. It has a conversation with our frontal cortex, right? And it's like, ah. This can communicate. However, when you do breath work, the smaller the amygdala is, the less this will go into right? So with a small amygdala gland, we're not in that fear, that doubt, that uncertainty. We're in expansiveness. And with breath work, it gives you the ability to discern. Now, do I need to hoist my skirt and haul hiney? Or am I okay? Is there a bear right there? Or am I okay? It gives you the ability to really discern, because sometimes our humanness can be a very low level vibration. And I say that lovingly. It can be the vibration of fear, scarcity, doubt, right? That really isn't how we were made, how we were created, how we were designed. We are spectacular beings, love filled, certain ability to see. And the breath also gives us the ability to create new neural pathways in our brain. So the habit of saying, let's say, I'm not enough, not good enough, or I've got to keep eating these uh, potato chips because I don't have I don't have the courage, the strength to start a diet. And the breath gives you the ability to, well, I'm motivated. I'm going to go to the gym. And you go to the gym, right? So the breath gives us the ability, creating new neural pathways to motivate ourselves. And, well, I'm going to create a new way of being. I'm making the choice to go to the gym. And from within is the motivation to propel you forward to do. Now, I will be totally honest. During this pandemic, French fries have become my best friend.
You're not the only one.
And the other day, I put on a new skirt. All I'm going to say to you is that after I did my breath work, I was motivated. And this morning at 7:40, I was in the pool.
Oh my goodness.
Doing laps. And it's true. And I'm being very honest with you. That's one of the things I really do. I share truthfully what's going on for me. The French fries are showing up every which way they are.
Yep.
And for a while, very honestly, I had no motivation to go to the gym. And as I breathed, as I do my breath work, there's an opening. And you'll find that with yourselves also, where we activate our solar plexus, our place of sovereignty, our will, and that opens up. And it's like, okay, I can. And you start with one day. One day.
Yes.
So there's so much that the breath does. And because I could go on and on and on. And the breath also supports us to naturally produce melatonin to support sleep, aids in digestion, lowers blood pressure.
You can go on and on. I love this. Thank you so much. Amazing, amazing information for us. And it's undeniable that this is incredibly important. And I think that we don't realize how much of our day is spent in that fight or flight mode, or where you're like gripping the steering wheel. I feel like we've just become that's become a normal for us, So I think that this is so incredibly important because, of course, you're manifesting negative energy in your body when that's your state, so being conscious of releasing it is important.
And I'm just going to offer, because sometimes, I'm going to offer a reframe, because that can sometimes be a little under the table dig at yourself, right?
Yes.
It could be, well, I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. I'm never going to get this right. There's just no hope. So the breath, I like to say, reminds me of my magnificence. There's nothing outside of myself that I have to get, have to be, have to do. Everything is right here. And the breath reminds me in a loving way, I am enough. Everything I desire, I have the wherewithal within right now
Yes.
to achieve. There's nothing, again, I have to get, I have to be, I have to do. It's all within. Can I, and for me, breath is spirit, spirit is breath. If spirit doesn't work for you, then please fill in what does. Can I allow my breath? I'm going to put this word in quotes, surrender, because that can sometimes trigger a couple of people. Surrender to my breath to remember my magnificence. I love, as I shared earlier, A Course in Miracles. And one of the lessons is love created me like itself. and then A Course in Miracles. Course in Miracles is a wonderful workbook and textbook, and it's a way of life for those of your viewers that are not
Hmm.
familiar with it. It has daily readings and it also has a text. Um, and the one of the lessons is, as I shared, love created me like itself. And the lesson goes on, and you can take it deeper. Well, abundance created me like itself. Success created me like itself. Peace created me like itself. Confidence created me like itself. So what can't you do?
Love that. Thank you so much. It just really just puts everything so into perspective. Do you find that you have a go-to breath pattern that you find can give you this sense of calm very quickly if you're feeling overwhelmed?
Well, first of all, you're breathing. If you're overwhelmed, you are still breathing, my love. You're breathing enough
Mm-hmm.
for you to realize, holy heck, I'm overwhelmed. So, yay, start there. It
True.
doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be hard. And just recognizing, okay, things are a little funky right now. Okay, I'm breathing, and it could be going to hell in front of your physical eyes. However, I would like to remind your audience again, peace is within you. It doesn't leave you ever, ever, no matter how funky it looks to your physical eye. So I do conscious connected breath, and hopefully we'll be able to do a little bit of breathing. And that's just connecting the inhale to the exhale, and take your breath as it comes. You know, it may be okay.
Mm-hmm.
It may be okay. You're breathing.
Yes. Sometimes it's like breathe in for this many seconds, hold for this many seconds. So are you saying like don't overthink it?
I am. I'm going to be honest again with you. My mom recently passed.
Sorry.
Yeah. There, I feel as if I have been disemboweled. I really
Oh,
do.
I'm so sorry.
That's the only way I can describe it. And for the first time in my life after mommy passed, um, I experienced a panic attack. And I didn't know what the hell was going on. However, what I offer, because we can get up here too much, just breathe. Just your breath is so smart. Breath is spirit, spirit is breath. It got you up. It runs all of your organs. You don't have to think, I'm going to inhale here. I'm going to exhale here. And in the moment, like I can remember very clearly one night when I was just overwhelmed with grief. I am not going to count breath. Counting breath was the
Mm,
furthest thing from my mind.
yeah.
However, I will share your breathing. Plant that seed in your head. Your breath will take care of you, and it will dissipate. So start there. If you are in a crisis, start there. Now, if you are not in a crisis, connecting your inhale to your exhale to your inhale. So, what does that mean? I always use the analogy of a wave. A wave comes into shore and then it melds immediately back into the ocean. It comes into shore and then melds immediately back into the ocean. So there's this sort of circular, endless feel. Not that you have to move your body. I'm just doing that so that you can get the rhythm of the breath. And your inhale would and it doesn't have to be hard. So it's not no.
Right, right.
It doesn't have to be hard. I'm from the school of easy peasy. If there's too much effort, it just that's too much effort. That's just too much. Allow the breath. The breath will move in you, as you, and through you, as it already does. So if for those who are very analytical, let me share this breathwork exercise. If you find yourself sitting at your desk or in front of your 99th Zoom meeting in the past 22 minutes, what you can do is, and I always advocate inhaling through the nose. Why? Because your nose is a filter. So it has a job to do. So clear things out. So just inhale, let's say for 2 through your nose. Exhale for 2 through your nose. Repeat. Inhale for 2. Exhale for 2. Get comfortable with that. Now we're going to go to 3. Inhale for 3. Exhale for 3. Again, repeat. Inhale for 3. Exhale for 3. Open your mouth wide. Take a breath in. Just sigh it out. And you can go through that if you really want to count. And the counting sometimes can relax you even more if you're a very analytical person. No heat, no judgment on all of our analytical people. We need you. And thank you for your analyses. You can also just become aware of your breath. Just become aware, non-judgmentally. Non-judgmentally, not, well, gee whiz, why is my inhale making so much noise? Nothing like that. Just notice. Inhale. Be aware. And let the breath happen naturally. Just that awareness, just that attention, you'll find that your breath will begin to lengthen. Your inhale will lengthen, your exhales drop easily. So there are 3 easy breathwork techniques.
Thank you so much. And already I feel calmer.
The thing is that we're also oxygenating our brains. When we do breath work, you're oxygenating your blood. Your blood goes and nourishes and nurtures every nook and cranny of your being, including your brain. You need oxygen in your brain. And most of us breathe very shallow. Very shallow. The other thing that I didn't share about what the breath does, the benefits of it, is it boosts your immune system.
Oh, we all want that right now.
We want that all the time.
Yeah.
Not just now, but always. We want that always. And it also supports a healthy respiratory system. As you're doing your breath work, your lungs really are being nourished by the oxygen-rich blood, right?
Yes.
And your rib cage gets to relax and expand. And all of this your body does. It's amazing. All of this your body does so that your rib cage can accommodate your lung capacity expanding. So you've got nice, healthy lungs.
It's so interesting. And it makes me feel like, when we are feeling tired and we yawn, is that kind of like our body's forced breath work?
No, again, it's the beauty of the body. When people are in my sessions, in my classes, if they yawn, I am not offended, because that means to me that your respiratory system is opening up. Yawns are good.
Right.
Yawns are
Yes.
very good.
It's that deep breath that you need,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So
Mm-hmm.
now can you talk to us about manifestations, meditations, visualizations, daily rituals? How can incorporating the breath into these types of rituals, can it actually make them more effective or help?
I'm a snob. I'm just going to say I am a breathwork snob. For me, personally and professionally, the breath is a one-stop shop. The
Mm,
breath takes you to places, for me, personally and professionally, so much higher than anything else. That's for me. That said, yes, incorporating breath work with visualization, absolutely. It supports the body to relax. You get into a little bit of hypnosis, even you can with that. Um, your breath is a prayer. Your breath is gratitude.
I love that.
Your breath is a manifestation. I mean, when you think about it, you are a divine manifestation of the divine, a physical representation here on this plane of pure, unconditional love.
I love this. I just feel such gratitude right now. I think that anyone listening right now to have this moment with you, just this reminder. I mean, I just feel this is just amazing. Like to have this little blip of this realization in our day. I feel so gracious to be able to hear from you and to be able to share this moment.
Thank you. And it's just a reminder for everyone. We have become a culture of do, 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 do. If you're not doing, then you're just, I don't even know the word.
Mm-hmm.
However, our beingness, our presence, we are enough. I'll use myself as an example. Um, I haven't really been on social media a lot. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I need to post. And I thought, to trust, to have faith, to know that right where we are is right where we're supposed to be, that whatever is for us can't be taken away. It
Mm-hmm.
just can't. To think that we must be like someone or compare ourselves to someone else, as my teacher says, that's violent. That really is violent. And yes, I've been guilty of it. Let me just be real clear, because I'm human. um However, the breath, it sort of eases your foot up off of the gas pedal on that, and you remember, I'm enough, I'm whole, I'm safe.
I love that. And it reminds me of an example of a personal example that I can share as well. And I think, I don't know really, I mean, until I became a real estate agent, I did not know how to do this. And with respect to, like you said, being present is so important. And it's not the easiest when you're not training yourself to be able to do it, I feel like. And when I started working in real estate, you go out with a client that you may be meeting for the very first time. You have to be completely focused on this person. You need to have meaningful conversation, and you need to be able to answer questions well, I mean, or that person is never going to talk to you again. And that's something that I had to practice and had to teach myself how to do, because I was coming from a different type of office environment where things were thrown at me left and right. And it was like you couldn't even finish one task. And this is normal for everyone, I think, to be in these types of environments, but you don't even finish one task before someone else is like tapping you on the shoulder to address something else. And you're kind of having 1,000 conversations at once. And are you giving 100% of your attention and your effectiveness to any one of them? And, I noticed that when I was out with clients, that would not cut it. That type of attention, it does not cut it. And, now when I'm with someone, I do tune everything else out. Like I will try to not look at my phone, try to be completely mentally focused. And I noticed that that's when, you're able to connect with people when you're doing that, but it's very hard when you're not.
However, what you're talking about is your presence. Whether you are doing real estate, and we're in the process of selling our home, your energy, whether you are a realtor, or the lady at the checkout in H Mart, or in Fairway. I think Fairway
Mm-hmm.
closed. I don't even know. So it's your energy that I'm going to feel first and
It's true.
foremost. What am I feeling from you when you show up? You, as you spoke, there were some things that I really wanted to speak to. Being in an office environment where things are thrown at you, the beauty of a breathwork practice also is to create healthy boundaries, because I don't believe anyone is really capable of multitasking. I just don't believe you can. And to be able to create healthy boundaries and be able to be comfortable in yourself and say, I want to give you my 100%. However, in this right now moment, I need to complete this, and I want to hear what you need done so that I can, you know, execute it in my normal fashion of excellence. However, I need to complete this, and then I'll come to you so that I can hear you fully. I think that, and I don't know if it's because I'm getting older. Let me just be real, but there's a modicum of courtesy we need to give one another. And with the breath, there's an energy that you give off where people, when they come into your presence, will slow down.
Thank you. It's so true. And I did notice that as soon as we signed on together in this Zoom meeting, I genuinely felt your calm. I really did. It was amazing.
And I'm just going to be real, because if you had seen me like about an hour and a half ago, I was a hot mess, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay, because even when, I'm going to use me, I'm a hot mess, there is peace inside, and I continue to say that to remind myself and to encourage and motivate others. There is a client of mine that I did breath work with, and we had a session where they were just in the midst of a panic attack. They had just also overeaten, binged, because that was a habit. So they had completely engorged themselves. And here we are at a session. It was amazing to watch the breath dissipate the anxiousness. Did it happen right away? No. Did it happen? Yes. And also to begin to watch as the individual began to soften and surrender to the breath, to see the digestion, literally, see the digestion begin. And they didn't, regurgitate. The breath supported them to digest the food so that they could be comfortable. It's amazing. It's
That's
you
incredible.
Yeah, my mom always said, the body is amazing. Mommy would always say that.
Hmm.
She loved the breath. That's my mommy. Um,
Wow.
she loved doing breath work, and
Wow.
I am just so grateful, that I was able to share that with her, and the amazing thing too for her, to watch how it expanded her worldview. She was down for anything. That's for everyone.
Amazing.
Everyone.
Yeah, and we all want that. I think, do we let ourselves have it? Maybe not, but I think that's something we all want.
We have it. And one of the things I had a session right before this. One of the things I said to the group was, and Course in Miracles says this, if you touch it, I say, for just a nanosecond, that's like a lifetime. Course in Miracles calls that a giant stride. If you touch that place of peace within you for 1 second, then you know it's there. If you can touch it for a second, then you know you're willing, you're motivated to rest in it for 5 minutes, rest in it for 10 minutes, rest in it when jackhammers are going off on your terrace and you're doing
Yes.
a podcast.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And I think that it's interesting because I was listening to something the other day too that mentions something along those lines, and how it will get a little bit easier to stay in that for longer periods of time as you do it more often.
And if you touch it for, again, a second, freaking yay you.
Yeah.
Yay you. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself. And that is all in your cellular makeup now, right? So you can
Hmm.
go back to it. You've done it once, you can go back to it.
Yeah, it's like muscle memory.
Hmm.
For sure. So you're an inspirational breathwork coach, and you're known to inspire and you motivate your clients to identify their path and their areas for growth. And I feel like, especially during times that we're in right now, we do tend to wonder if we're on the right path and how we can achieve feelings of fulfillment in our life. So I'm wondering, is there anything that you can share with our audience for how we can tap into our intuition and better recognize our ideal path or where we belong?
I love getting asked that question. We all always know. We never not know. Use of a double negative. We can deny, we can avoid, we can hide. However, we always know. And how you allow yourself to remember is to breathe, because it takes your efforting off for you to relax enough to hear, to remember. I'm going to use a double negative again. You always know, you never not know. It's so interesting because I have so many clients who come to me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. What's my purpose? How do I find my purpose? Well, you already know. You already know. As you have a breath work practice, we relax enough mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally to hear what has already been spoken. And the motivation, the courage, the clarity to follow that path. Sometimes with humans, what we see, and then we like go away from is so big to us, and we think it's absolutely not feasible to accomplish it, so we push it away. However, if that thought comes, it's a download from the Most High. Fill in whatever works for you. If that doesn't work for you, step into it. The way is made. Now, am I saying that it's going to be easy peasy? Hell no. Um, do you have the tools, skills, and energy? Absolutely. Get support, breathe, and flow. That's the best I can answer that.
Thank you so much for that. And I think I relate. When I was during a period, I would say 4 years ago is when I switched careers from advertising into real estate. And the way I felt like I knew it was the right decision for me was that when I thought about switching into real estate, which is kind of like a very stressful thing to do. I feel like you're switching out of a job where you have a paycheck regularly and you're going into a commission-based field. Whenever I would think about it, I got the most incredible sense of calm ever. Like it just felt like anytime I thought about that option in my life, I just felt relief. And I was like, I feel like that's it.
That's awareness. That's awareness. You know, if you are uncomfortable, unhappy in life, ding, 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 you know, the universe is calling you. Pick up the phone or press your
Yes.
the phone icon.
Yes.
Put your earplugs in. The universe is calling. Answer the phone. And if you have that uncomfortableness, that you know, something's just not right, breathe into that. That will give you the courage to sit, to rest in that uncomfortability, to find the calm right underneath it. Like, let's say, an ocean, right? Lots of waves, right? But underneath that, it's calm so that you can navigate in the storm. But you
Yes.
always know, you always know.
I think that in today's day and age, I feel like so silly saying that, but I feel like today we almost think that we have to feel uncomfortable, like it's our rite of passage. But that's so not the case. I'm so happy that you're here, like giving us all this sign, like, no, 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 no. It does not have to be that way. You have a right to be comfortable in your day to day.
And let me again say, I'm not telling you that it's going to be,
Right.
all roses and no bumps in the road. Oh, hell no. Things are going to come and they are going to, like that ocean analogy I just gave, rock you to and fro. Hell yeah. However, your breath is your balance. Your breath is your guide. Your breath is your key. Your breath is your ability to be still and know, even when it's funky as hell. You know, yeah, I could give so many examples of clients. A client who was released from their job, and that is devastating. I am hear me very clearly. I'm not making light of that at all. I'm going to say, and sometimes the universe shows up to get us into our highest and greatest good in ways that we may not like.
It's
And that
so true. It's so true that you say that. It's so, so, so true. I just sat in that for a moment because it's just so true. It's just, sometimes these hard times that we need to get through really truly are like connecting us to where we need to end up being.
where we are, but we've just forgotten. And I'll use myself
Mm,
as I grieve my mother. I will always miss my mother. I'll always have an empty space.
mm,
However, I know that the intensity of the pain of this right now moment, I get to sit in that. And that may show up for you as being released from your job. It may show up as a marriage partnership that is not no longer working. It may show up as a devastating medical diagnosis. It could show up in so many different ways. And we may have to sit in that uncomfortability in order to move through and to connect to the higher consciousness for the motivation, the courage, the clarity, so that we attract to ourselves those support systems that we need. Because nobody can make it through by themselves. Nobody. We all need support. I
It's
have
so
support.
true. Yeah. It's honestly, it's just so true.
And of course, you're going to ignore. The source is going to say go left, and you're going to say, oh, hell no, I'm going right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're humans.
Mhm.
We are. And there is no step, no thing that we can do that does not support us to remember the truth of who we are. Nothing, no matter how freaking devastating. Take my mom. I have to use that again. I'm seeing strengths within myself I never knew I had. So it can look absolutely awful. And there's nothing in your life that can ever steer you off course. Everything supports you to remember. Now, we can delay things, we can dismiss things. However, if we're willing to the best of our ability, because I don't want it to get into I got to do this, I got to do that. No, you're going to do what you're going to do. um, do your best. Do your best.
Thank you so much. And I know I wish that we could have you all day. I wish we could have you all day, every day. But I want to be cognizant of your time. And I know that we do need to wrap up soon. I do want to remind the audience that you, Kathleen, do one-on-one coaching and that you're taking new clients.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please let our audience know the best ways to reach you? And if there's anything that you would like to let the audience know that you have going on right now, maybe mention your website or your Instagram channels where they can find you.
Well, I'm very excited to share that I have, beginning in April 26th, a 7-week breathwork course for women. And I'm very excited about that. That is coming up through the Shift Network. So please reach out to me on my website, www.kathleenbooker, KATHLEENBOOKER.net. And you can also email me. My email is Kathleen@kathleenbooker.net. Reach out on Instagram. I am Kathleen Booker. Reach out on Facebook, Kathleen Booker. I think on Instagram, you also get me as the Jedi of Calm. So reach out. And yes, I do take one-on-one clients. And my course, my 7-week course, Breath Work for Women, is just going to be super powerful. We will be doing breath work, bringing in abundance, womb clearing and cleansing, a whole bunch of things that's going to be really dynamic. And for the men, I do community classes. Check my website for what's coming up.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Is the 7-week course, is it like one time per week that it's meeting? Is it
Yes.
virtual?
Yes.
Amazing. Amazing. We have to check that out. We need that in our lives. Thank you so much for sharing that, Kathleen. Kathleen, it was such a pleasure. I feel truly blessed to be able to have spoken to you and to be able to share this with our audience today. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm sure that you're going to be getting a bunch of requests as well from our audience. So I cannot thank you enough.
I'm very grateful, Christina. It was really a pleasure to have the invitation and to sit down and chat with you. Thanks a lot. And
Thank
for
you.
everyone, be breathful.
Wow, guys, I truly feel rejuvenated, enlightened, and just so good after talking to Kathleen. And I really hope that this episode had the same effect on you. Remember that this show features experts from various industries, and really the whole point of this show is to walk away with something that we didn't know before, just to continue expanding our minds and making sure that we're staying inspired, creative, and overall, of course, happy. Thank you so much for being a part of this incredible community that we are building. You can get in touch with me in so many different ways. You can follow me on Instagram. My handle is Christina.Kremidas. You can also send me an email. My email address and my website and all other contact info is always in the description of these videos. Thank you guys so much again for tuning in today, and stay tuned for next week.